Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's weekly bump for the week of Monday, September 5th. I hope you guys are doing amazing so far. So we have 3 piles. Instead of using crystals, I thought we would just try 3 different decks. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Now go ahead and take a moment and decide which pile is calling you the most. Now, not everyone always feels intuitively drawn, and that's perfectly fine. If not, you can always just randomly select a pile, and I'm sure there will be a message in there for you somewhere. So the timestamps for each pile will be found in the description box and the comment thread down below, so you can quickly access and jump from pile to pile. And also don't forget that if you are a subscriber on my website of any level, that there will be weekly extendeds for each zodiac sign available on the blog. So just log in, navigate to the blog page, and you'll see the video there. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Okay, pile number 1, you guys selected the traditional Rider-Waite deck. So let's go ahead and take a look, see what comes through for you. Knight of Cups, Queen of Coins, Strength, beautiful. Okay. So I'm getting a sense that there is a wonderful mixture of optimism and productivity at play right now. And I know that with the 7 of Coins, sometimes it feels like things aren't growing or they're not necessarily moving in that right direction. Sometimes it feels like things are stagnant, and it may kind of feel like you start questioning your choices a little bit. And that's why the Knight of Cups is coming out here and saying you have to stay optimistic. You have to kind of keep those rose-colored glasses on a little bit. You know, you have to like truly embrace these desires that you have, and you have to keep going, especially with Strength. It's a card of courage and bravery and perseverance. And we know, right, from all the stories out there, that the real success comes from those that worked through these kind of adversarial moments. And it may not necessarily feel like the world is crashing in on you, but it may feel like, you know, you're like, okay, did I make the right decision? Was this really the right call? Is this really going to bring the success that I'm hoping for? Is this really going to work out? You know, and I know that those questions are starting to surface, especially as Venus is like officially now in Virgo. So she's officially moved into her fall position now. And she's, you know, she's kind of having to roll up her sleeves and get to work a little bit, which is not necessarily where Venus likes to be. With the Judgment reverse, it tells me that you don't necessarily have the clarity that I know you would like. You don't have the certainty. But the thing you do have certainty with is within yourself, with that Queen of Coins, right? Because she knows if you provide the right environment, you guys, I say this a million times with the Queen of Coins. If you provide the right environment, I always say she's my gardener. You plant the seed and you make sure that the soil is good. You make sure there's enough sunlight and you make sure there is water. That seed will grow. Okay? You know, but if you have like acidic soil or the pH is off, it's going to be very challenging for that seed to fully sprout. So right now you have to focus on your environment and you have to focus on your efforts. And with Virgo, with earth sign energy, yes, it's mercurial, but it is earth. So there is this sort of transitory quality that may feel a little unstable and chaotic, and yet still also only be promising long-term gains. So it's like all of this instability and then not seeing the immediate results. And therefore, like, this is a time when people quit. For sure. This is when people quit because they're like, I am doing all this and everything seems to be right and the environment is good and I'm working hard and I'm doing it, but where's the payout? Where's the profit? Where's the reciprocity? Like, where is that coming from? And the universe is saying, well, it's coming. And that can be an infuriating answer because you want to know when. Of course, we're human beings. We want to have a little bit more information than that sometimes, but it's coming. in the way that when you plant, you know, an apple tree seed, well, when's it going to grow fruit? Well, when it's ready. And not a moment sooner, you know? And so you have to allow for the blossoming. And so to be able to stay optimistic and to be able to stay focused on the dream and on the overall ambitions, you know, that's so important. And I feel that Mars through Gemini is really offering a more magical quality. Okay, so there's more like, maybe you're starting to dream of things that you never allowed yourself to dream before. You know, you never allowed yourself to dream of that level of success because you didn't feel that it was attainable or within reach. And the universe says, yes, it is within reach. It just may take time. And so you don't want to lose hold of it. You don't want to let go of it, because the moment you let go of it is the moment that you guarantee that you will never have it. Okay, so it's so important. Let's pull out some oracle cards. It's a beautiful week to reset, regroup, and just keep going. Butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. And this process, this project, this endeavor, this whatever it is you've got your eyes set on, it is intrinsically changing you. It is. It is actually changing you. It is causing you to become a different person. It's causing you to restructure your life a little bit. It's causing you to open up your boundaries and open up your comfort zone and to push into a completely new realm of reality for yourself. And that new realm of reality is but a stepping stone in the ultimate process. So you can go smoothly. It doesn't have to be so full of chaos. Okay, so let's see what this moon energy card has to say. A new start is coming. Well, indeed it is, without question. It's literally like on the way to your doorstep right now as we speak. So there are some beautiful moments, probably speckled throughout the week, little moments of confirmation that you will receive that yes, this is good, and yes, this was a good choice. And that yes, you are doing well, and yes, this is what your soul needs. Okay, stay humble. All right, thank you all so much. I love you. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, pile number 2. You guys selected the Witch's Tarot. So let's go ahead and take a look. Comes through for you guys. 9 of Cups, 4 of Coins, the Chariot, 8 of Coins, upright, Page of Cups reversed, another Strength card. Strength came out for pile number 1 as well. So let's try to straighten these out a little bit. So we have a strong message of like release and let go. There is most definitely something that you have been afraid of letting go of, right? 4 of Coins reversed. You've been afraid to it's like you've been afraid to move past it. You've been afraid to let go of it. You've been afraid to forget about it. You've been afraid to let it have some kind of slack. And it's been preventing this Chariot from moving forward. It's almost as though this thing you've been holding on to, it's like you're trying to go on some kind of a drive, but your whole vehicle is like anchored in cement. It's like, well, you can't drive and be anchored at the same time. You can only have one or the other. And right now I think you're saying, okay, I'm ready to drive. I'm ready to let my Chariot go. I'm ready to let that movement start happening. I'm ready for the growth. I'm truly ready to let this into my heart and into my life. Like I want this this new experience. And it may not be because you want something better, because I feel that people have become very content and happy with what they have cultivated. They've become happy with their jobs and their careers. They've become happy with their relationships. And, if you haven't been happy, I know that a lot of people have been making changes. But wherever you are on that spectrum, I think generally there's this, appreciation for what is. And that's good, but it doesn't mean that just because you full-heartedly, and I do believe it is full-heartedly appreciate, because I'm looking at this 9 of Cups and I'm like, yeah, this is gratitude at its finest. So I would never say you're not grateful. And I would never say that you don't genuinely feel it, because I know you do. But it is possible to be wholeheartedly appreciative and grateful for what is, and still want something else. And I feel that that's where you are. And maybe this 4 of Coins has been, well, I should just be happy with what is. And maybe I shouldn't be out there looking for more. And maybe I shouldn't expect more. And so that kind of negates a lot of the desire for growth and expansion. But when you really think about it, expansion is all there is. That is all that happens. There are, whether you plant a seed, right? You plant a seed and it starts to grow. There is only expansion in terms of getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And even when it is time to die, there is even an expansion of the spirit at that time. So that expansion is all that exists. So when we deny ourselves that expansion and we try to hold something in place, we die a little bit inside, because it is denying the truest essence of ourselves. But sometimes expansion means letting go of control. And I see that strongly with this Page of Cups. She's like getting barreled over by this big wave here. It's not always pretty. It's not always pretty to release something, because at least with that thing that you are releasing, there was at least some security. There was at least some control. There was some familiarity and comfort with that. And so when you kind of let that go and you move, you kind of are sacrificing security and you're sacrificing stability and comfort for the sake of expansion. And sometimes that can feel debilitating. And that's why strength came out, because it's like, this is you being strong. This is you exhibiting courage and bravery, but it will require perseverance as well. Because it's the ego that is wanting the security and the safety, right? It's the ego that's wanting that to a degree. And with the Strength card, we know that she represents kind of that higher self, or that which is connected to that higher intelligence, God, essentially, spirit, and the creator. And she is able to channel that and kind of control the beast, if you will. The beast representing this kind of unruly, fearful ego that we have. The ego can be a beautiful blessing when it's used properly, in terms of showing up and taking space and feeling a sense of value. But it can be detrimental if we use it as an excuse to not do something, right? Or to do something that we feel called to do anyway. And so strength is coming out as that reminder, you are strong. And there is work to do. Don't get me wrong. 8 of Coins. It's Virgo season. Venus is now in Virgo. So yeah, there is work to do. There's work to do. And with this full moon coming up in Pisces, and I talked about this with my Soul Seekers group when I did my full moon in Pisces video on Saturday, it's kind of going to have this like poof quality, like poof, your life is gone. Poof, that old path is dissolved. Poof, you're done. Like you have to move on now. You've reached that point of no return now, where you must move into your new life. Okay, it's time. All right, let's go ahead and pull out an animal spirit card for you guys. All right, we have this, grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. That card rarely comes out, rarely. So that's a real blessing. Take a leap of faith. How beautiful is that? And maybe the surrender and the sacrifice, again, full moon in Pisces, strong sacrifice and strong surrender kinds of vibes. Maybe that is the leap of faith. So you take a leap of faith within yourself. And then we have Oh, step out of your comfort zone. Again, that one, did that come out for pile 1? I feel like that came out. Oh, that came out for a private reading I did. So we have step out of your comfort zone. So it is time for you to, like, you have to be uncomfortable now. You have to go through that level of discomfort. You will refamiliarize. Don't worry. Being uncomfortable is not a big deal, right? You just adapt and you change. It doesn't mean anything bad. It just means you're being challenged. So are you going to rise to that challenge, or are you going to cower and revert back and denying yourself the very thing that you know you must do? You might as well do it now, because if you don't do it now, Saturn through Pisces is going to seriously kick your butt. It's going to force you to do it. It's going to be way harder to do it with Saturn through Pisces than it is to do it now. Okay? All right, you guys. I love you. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Take care. All right, pile number 3. You guys selected the Bianco Nero deck, so let's go ahead and see what comes through. I just got this deck, so this is the first time I'm using it on camera anyway. I've been working with it for a few days now, but okay, so we have the Lovers, 8 of Cups, 9 of Wands, sometimes that pull, can I say the pull of destiny? I know that sounds a little magical, and I don't always like to use that word, but because of this Uranus North Node conjunction that's going on, I feel that destiny is going to be a theme that we can't really escape, because it's going to feel so obvious to us that there is something that we absolutely must do. Queen of Cups reversed. It's going to be so obvious to us that we have to move in a specific direction, and we have to make certain decisions. Like, we just genuinely don't have a choice. The call is so loud. And with the Lovers, now I love the Lovers, and yes, it can have certain implications in terms of your relationships with other people. But at its core, it really is about our internal dualities, and it's about choices. And it has a lot to do with us unifying with ourselves. And I wonder if throughout the past few years, maybe more than that, maybe since 2008, since Pluto came into Capricorn, maybe you feel like you have been, I'm looking at this 8 of Cups, and I just feel like wandering in wilderness is what I'm feeling inspired to say. Like, maybe you've been feeling as though you've been wandering in wilderness. And maybe you feel as though you have strayed from some kind of destiny, right? And maybe you feel that you got distracted by what the world told you was important. Because again, with Capricorn energy, and see, Pluto brings like incredible desire there. So with Capricorn energy, there are a lot of themes regarding being a part of like that social construct, and being someone that is relevant or important or whatever. Now, I'm not specifically saying that that's you entirely, but I think that that has been like the way that culture has influenced a lot. And so now that we're preparing for Pluto to come into Aquarius, it truly is time for us to step away from society and culture as a whole and go a little lone wolf. And I'm seeing that with King of Wands as being this hyper independent, super strong, completely and totally knows who they are and what they represent, and understands themselves to the core, and is ready to truly create not only a new world for himself, but to be a part of the creation of the new world, or the new earth rather, not the new world. Maybe that sounds, not talking about the new world order here, but like the new earth that's coming, the new earth that is inevitable. And so there is that kind of breakaway energy from the star kind of re-emerging with your soul's kind of original intentions with being here, that the sidetracked and the wandering and the, you know, experimentation and all of that is just kind of starting to become a little, it's just a little too far away from where you know you need to be. And there seems to be a return back home. And I'm looking at that Queen of Cups in the reverse. And I feel, actually, with the reversal, I feel a sense of relief. I feel relief with release. As you are releasing things, you become more and more relieved. And therefore, you have more freedom because you have chosen autonomy and sovereignty and the truest nature of who you are. Anything becomes possible with someone in this state. Anything becomes possible. Anything becomes doable. And I actually feel like the seriousness and the heftiness of tasks doesn't seem like that. It's kind of like, sometimes I feel like super successful business people, like let's say an Elon Musk or a Steve Jobs or the PayPal guy. I forget all the names, but you know, like these really successful company business owners and founders and leaders. I never feel that they for a moment think that it's impossible. They don't ever feel the heaviness of the weight. I'm not saying those thoughts don't enter into their mind, but just because a thought enters into the mind doesn't mean it has any say-so. And the only thoughts that they give credence to are the thoughts that encourage and promote. They're more solution-oriented, so they will never, ever, ever succumb or surrender to the notion that it can't or won't work. It's just a matter of how will it work. And so I think that's kind of what you're coming into now, is you're starting to relieve yourself or to release the notions that something isn't possible. And in so doing, you move into problem-solving mode. And when you move into problem-solving mode, which all this Mercury energy is fantastic for with the Virgo and Mars and Gemini, with all this going on, I think there's an acceleration going on. Actually kind of a quite obvious acceleration. There's going to be noticeable, visible effects, and it's going to come in specifically to help you confirm and to validate your choices, because I know that this choice was probably a big one, and it feels as though you're going against the grain. It feels like you're going against a lot, but it also feels so good because you are finally really listening to yourself, which means you're really listening to the Creator. You're listening to God and Spirit, and you're listening to that which ultimately has your best interest at heart. So there is no more wandering. There is no more wondering. There is no more caring what people think. There's no more concern of how you fit in, because you have just decided that fitting in is what you make it. And you will fit in by standing out, by being unique, by being special, and by showing up and taking up space and expressing yourself and being passionate. It's a wonderful turn of events. I feel like that between now and March of next year, it's just like someone is flipping a switch in us, just boom. And we're all of a sudden going to like have all these realizations and all these like moments of understanding. And we're going to say, oh, I really can do that. Oh, it really is possible. Oh, if I had only known, if I wasn't so focused on all the limitations, I would have done it a million years ago, right? Pluto through Saturn, all the limitations. So we are going to take a look now here through the animal spirit cards. Take the lead. I mean, that's really what you are doing. You are taking the lead. By taking up space, you are in fact creating more space for more people to take up space. Right? To really like be seen and to be out there and to be prominent and to be visible, to be heard, you know? It doesn't have to be like in a big, like on social media or on TV, or it doesn't have to be like that. It's just in your life. There's no hiding anymore. There's no leaning upon the structures that others set in place for you. There is a breaking of those boundaries. See, luck is on your side. Exactly. Take the lead. Luck is on your side. The stars are conspiring in your favor. I'm not worried about, I feel like this beauty within people is starting to like people are living in their inner beauty, and it's just like this incredible shift that's palpable, and it's beautiful. So don't stop, don't second guess. All right, thank you so much, you guys. You know I love you. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.